Welcome back to Daily Bit. I'm Colin. One of the questions I've gotten a lot about is why do you like D-cannons so much? With lots of complaints about their range. So the Eldar book's in a weird spot. Basically, Eldar have two really significant problems. The first problem is that most people, when they play against Eldar now, line up and aggressively go at the Eldar army because they know that the Eldar army can't deal with a whole Blood Angels army sitting in the middle of the table, or an Emperor's Children army, or whatever. And so that's the way people are dealing with Eldar. A further problem is that there are armies like Knights that are just rough for Eldar because a lot of our close combat doesn't do anything to Knights. And so you end up with a shooting situation. And I've taken a bunch of, here's 10 Fire Dragons. And I really value 10 Fire Dragons. I think that they're really great. But the Fire Dragons in the Knight matchup tend to kill a Knight and then die, even if you work your butt off to keep them alive. There's also other shooting, like Warp Spiders are neat shooting, but they're not good into big targets. And then the real problem is all of these armies that take this brick of Chaos Knights, or Chaos Terminators, that are -1 to wound, and you can't reroll hits, and you're only hitting them on 4s, and they've got all this buffs on them, and they're just obnoxious. So how I deal with them is I take 6 D-cannons in every single army. So what I mean by that is I take 2 units of 3. Now, here's some things you may not know about D-cannons. First of all, they're 24-inch range. Okay. They are strength 12, AP 4, D6 plus 2 damage. Okay. D6 plus 2 on no matter what range you're in. And they're indirect. Now, if you shoot them indirect, you're only going to hit on 4s because that's how indirect works. And they're only going to be AP 3 rather than being AP 4. Those are important facts. Okay. Now, most of my games are on player place terrain because I'm in the land of frontline is every tournament, basically, the GW tournaments being different. So please be aware that when I talk about this is player place terrain that I'm talking about. I think that on GW terrain, they're good as well because I've played a bunch on that. On WTC terrain, I love them. I don't know about whatever terrain format you might be in. So what the D-cannons do, first of all, is that they just shoot indirect sometimes. And that's okay. Hitting on 4s is fine. You have fate dice to just give them auto hits. And auto hits on D-cannons is amazing. Further, you've got the Ranger strat that says for 1 CP, everything within 12 inches of that Ranger unit, you get full reroll to hit on 1 D-cannon unit. Also, though, especially when you're playing Chaos, they often don't have a lot of shooting, and the D-cannons can just hide behind a wall, and then they can just slide out because they're 6-inch movement, and they can just look at the thing they're shooting at and hit it on 3s. That's not at all uncommon. They are also D3 shot blast. And that blast is so amazing because any unit that has 6 or more models is going to, here's a shocker, get 3 shots. So any unit that has 6 people, Repentia, Retributors, from the Chaos side, Terminators, Possessed, Gene Stealers, whatever people have that are going to rush at you, you can shoot at them indirect and get 9 shots with 3 D-cannons. 9 shots of 3 D-cannons feels really good. Rerolling hits on 9 shots, right? You get 4.5 hits, and then you roll those other 4.5 over again, and you get another 2, 2.5, 2.25. You might get 6 or 7 hits. That's pretty good. They then wound most of the game on 2s. They do mortal wounds on 6s. Doesn't usually matter. And then if they get through to a Chaos Terminator, they just kill it because they're D6 plus 2 damage. So you don't have any hits going through that aren't killing anything. They kill Knights great. They kill vehicles great. They kill planes great, which is a big problem for Eldar. They kill Terminators great. They kill Possessed great. They just kill things great, and they're under 400 points for 6 of them. So I'm basically saying I'm going to say 400 points of my list is D-cannons, and because of that, Marines are going to have a hard time into me. Chaos Space Marines are going to have a hard time into me. Knights are going to have a hard time into me. They handle all of that. Finally, you said, hey, 24-inch range sucks. Yes, it's not great. But in player place terrain, you can usually place them in a way where they can cover all of the center objectives, or at least most of them, and that's good enough. Also, I just move them. I just walk 6 inches with them. Don't forget also that you have Phantasm. Going first against a hard target army, like you need to kill Mortarion or Bellicor or a Knight or something on the first turn. Did you go first? Great. Phantasm the D-cannons to the line, walk them forward 6 inches, blast someone. Remember that they're T5, 5 wounds with a 4-up save. So they're actually relatively hard to kill with small arms fire. So armies that don't bring big guns also aren't going to shoot your D cannons off. I have them last through basically every game. So if you're an LR player out there and you are having a hard time with the things I've talked about, give the D cannons a try and let us know what you think. I think they're amazing. Your mileage obviously may vary. Thanks, guys. We'll be back tomorrow.